Although he was an immigrant to the United States, Irving Berlin was America's songwriter. As Michael Walsh noted in Time magazine, Berlin's songs are as much a part of American culture as any folk song. They seem to have been with us always. Berlin wrote more than 1,000 songs, including many American classics. Berlin was born IrvingBerln on May 11, 1888 in southern Russia, the youngest of 8. His family was swept up in the Jewish pogroms and fled America from Europe aboard the Rhineland when Berlin was 6 years old. The family landed at Ellis Island on September 14, 1893, and settled into one of New York City's immigrant neighborhoods. Of course, the Berlins were only one of thousands of immigrants streaming through Ellis Island every day. Ellis Island was still very new when Irving Berlin passed through. It opened in 1892 and processed more than 12 million immigrants over the next 30 years. Berlin's family settled into their new life. He grew up singing in shul and on the streets outside of cabarets for tips. In 1905, he got a full-time job as a singer-waiter at Pastor's Cafe. It was here that his life and the course of American music would change forever. When a rival restaurant published a popular song, the owner of Pastor's challenged Berlin to do better. He sat down with a pianist, and together they wrote the song Marie from Sunny Italy. The artist who drew the cover for the sheet music misprinted his name as Irving Berlin, and Berlin decided not to correct it. Berlin began working odd jobs in Tin Pan Alley, named for the cacophony of sound coming from the New York theater district, and eventually got a job as a lyricist with music publishers Waterston and Snyder. He produced dozens of songs and eventually caught the public's attention with a new song called Alexander's Ragtime Band. This successful Tin Pan Alley song paved the way for his future work as a lyricist. As a Tin Pan Alley songwriter, he wrote more single hits than any other composer of the age. However, he also wrote songs for many Broadway shows and scored some of Hollywood's most memorable films after he left Tin Pan Alley. Berlin's Hollywood career took off when sound was introduced to film. In fact, his song Blue Skies was featured in the very first talkie, The Jazz Singer. After that, the sky was the limit. Berlin moved to Hollywood during the Depression and wrote the scores for many film musicals, including a series of Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers films, the most famous of which was Top Hat. Berlin and Astaire worked together many times and produced such films as Blue Skies, On the Avenue, Follow the Fleet, and Holiday Inn, which became an American classic and featured the first recorded version of White Christmas, which was also made into a movie in the 50s. During World War II, Berlin wanted to write a song to express his love of his adopted country and to promote peace around the world. The result was God Bless America, our unofficial anthem. Because he felt uncomfortable capitalizing on his patriotism, Berlin donated all royalties and the copyright to the Boys and Girl Scouts of America. After World War II, Berlin returned to Broadway, where in 1946 he wrote and produced his most successful musical, Annie Get Your Gun. During the 1950s, Berlin began to slow down. His older songs were still popular, but his newer songs were less successful, and he eventually retired. He lived the rest of his life out of the public eye as a recluse. He was honored on his 100th birthday with a celebration at Carnegie Hall. Berlin died in his sleep on September 22, 1989. He was 101 years old. Berlin epitomizes the American immigrant success story. From rags to riches, he moved from Ellis Island to Fifth Avenue. In a career that spanned more than 50 years, he truly became America's songwriter.